Welcome to Real Talk Real Women. My name is Miriam Khalladi and today we have Stephanie Woods from Idaho on the show. Welcome Stephanie, how are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you.
I'm fine, thank you so much. What got you into fitness?
Oh gosh, I've always been kind of into fitness, mostly sports. Growing up, I was really into sports. I actually started a women's college rugby team in Pocatello, which is only about an hour away from where I live right now. So I was really big into sports, but I really didn't get into the whole health and fitness um, kind of maturity level, I guess you could say, until after I had my second baby. And that was a good 4 or 5 years ago. Almost 5 years. Oh my gosh, he's getting big. Okay, so yeah, about 5 years ago that I really start getting into not just sports, but more just fitness and health and nutrition and all around kind of stuff.
What do you like so much about the world of fitness and bodybuilding today?
It is evolving so much. It is so different than what it was even 5 years ago or 10 years ago. It keeps expanding. More and more people are getting involved in kind of bodybuilding and fitness, that sort of stuff. They're looking at it at a totally different light, and I love how much it's just progressing with everyone, and people are taking it more serious and realizing how great this fitness and bodybuilding kind of industry can be, even for stay-at-home moms to someone who's totally into sports or CrossFit. It fits everybody's lifestyle, and it's just I love how it is today because it's just going to keep getting bigger and better as the years kind of go on, and I love being right smack in the middle of it. It's been fun.
Right. I saw on your website that you offer online personal training. Can you explain a little bit how that works?
Yes, so I do online training, and what it is I can train anybody in the world. It doesn't matter if you live in China or Greenland or Mexico. I can train anyone. The way it works is I design workouts and customize meal plans for that specific person. And so no two people are alike. So my workouts and my meal plans are much different with each client of mine, I guess. A lot of people have the similar, meal plans and similar workouts, but depending on their goals and the body types and even their lifestyle and habits can really change workouts and meal plans. And I used to work as a trainer in a gym, and it was great. It was a great place to start, get my feet wet, kind of understand how, I get one-on-one kind of, that feel with people and really get to see people change in person. But the one thing I really had a hard time with is I would train someone for maybe once or twice a week, and that was it. I didn't know what they were doing for the rest of the week. I really didn't know what they were eating because being a trainer at a gym, you're also not a nutritionist. So we weren't designing meal plans for people. I can give them ideas, but I wasn't actually really honing in on their diet and trying to give them an all around nutrition and diet program. So as I started doing things online, I realized how much more accountability and more personal I could get with people because I know exactly what I'm designing them, what they should be doing day in, day out, as well as their diet. And I break everything down to a T to where they know what they're eating every single day. They have grocery lists that they can take with them and go get their foods. And then they know exactly what body part they should be working, what kind of cardio. And so I get to know a little bit more about them, as well as I still get to Skype with them like we are today, or I do personal phone calls if they can't Skype. And so I still get to see them in person, one-on-one. I get to see them progress because there's always, the great world of the internet, so you can email pictures and all of that. And the accountability seems to be a little bit more involved with people online than I was seeing in the gym. So that's kind of how it works for me. And it seems I haven't come across one person that it really hasn't worked with yet.
Wow, you're doing a great job.
Yes, thank you.
Is there a downside of not being able to be there with your client in person?
A lot of my clients online, about 50% of them have personal trainers that they already have at the gym. And so, which is really nice because then I can converse with their trainers and we kind of can hone in on what's good for their client, and they can be there for me in a sense in the gym and show my clients, proper form and, how to execute a proper exercise, as well as just pushing them through those last few reps, because that's kind of one of the hangups with people is, and especially women, they really don't know their own strength. And so mentally, they don't know how to push themselves when it comes to heavier weights or getting that last couple of reps. And so that's the one thing that I miss that I don't get to do with my online clients is be right there with them, pushing them. So, but other than that, there's really nothing, no other cons, I guess, with online training other than I just can't be there watching over them 24/7.
Okay. How do you motivate your clients and yourself to be at your best?
Words can be the most powerful thing, and compliments. So I know a lot of people struggle with their weight and, if they're not seeing results the way they thought they would. So one of the biggest motivators is when I say, all right, let's jump on Skype or let's do a personal phone call. I want to talk to you in person. And that's where I kind of boost their confidence and I let them know what they're doing is working. It's just, it may be slower for them than it is for some people, or they look great, but the scale isn't moving. So you know what? Check the scale. Forget what the scale says. Go off of how you feel. So constantly motivating people really isn't a problem because between Skype and personal phone calls, emails, and even texts these days is even just one little word can make a person's day on trying to get them to motivate and keep moving. Pictures speak 1,000 words. So if someone's having doubts about their progress or their results, I say, you know what, let's take some more pictures. And it is amazing how much an impact just updating your physique kind of pictures to see your progress, because if you can't see your progress on the scale, or you see yourself every single day in the mirror, so you don't see it, but other people obviously are seeing it, take a picture, because a picture can speak 1,000 words.
I agree.
Yes.
How did you get so passionate about food and cooking?
I've always loved to cook ever since I was a young kid. My mom was gone a lot when I was younger, so I kind of feel like I raised my younger brothers and sisters, and I've got 4 younger brothers and sisters. There was 5 of us, and I was the oldest, and so I got to practice with food, and they were my biggest fans and biggest guinea pigs. I didn't make too nasty foods, very often, but it happened. But all things in trial and error. And then as I, got into college, my friends were always over at my apartment or my dorm. And, I was always cooking foods for them and cookies and cakes and whatnot. And then as I got married, I was making food for my husband all the time. And then started having kids, started doing the same thing. And it's always been kind of it's always been kind of my passion. Sweets are my biggest thing. I love making cookies and cakes and cupcakes and all the bad things that we should not be eating. So that's why when I started getting into health and fitness, I was like, okay, how can I incorporate what I love to make and love to eat and make it healthy and incorporate it into my diet and, have it to where my picky eaters, my 2 little boys, could also eat it. And so that's when I really started experimenting with certain foods and health foods. And that's kind of how Stephanie.Fitness started, was in the kitchen. And then it evolved into fitness and bodybuilding and now online training and meal plans. And so it just kind of keeps growing and growing. And that's just kind of how I started.
Really interesting.
Thank you.
A lot of women are scared of bulking up and becoming too muscular. What do you say to those women?
Forget the myths, because that's what it's a big myth. And I'm gonna myth bust you here. Unless you are supplementing or synthetically enhancing yourself, you will not get bulky. you cannot get big. It is not in our genetics. We are women and we have way too much estrogen. So unless we had a bunch of testosterone in our bodies, which we have a little bit of because we need to have that proper hormone in our bodies, but we don't have the genetics. It doesn't matter who you are unless you were to enhance yourself in that sense. So going heavy and eating the right foods and building those muscles, yeah, you're going to build lean muscle mass, but you will never get big and bulky. It can't happen for women. So a lot of women, they tend to say, oh, I started lifting heavier weights and my pants don't fit anymore, or my legs are getting huge, or my butt's starting to get bigger. That's where I have to sit them down and go, okay, it's not the muscle that's making you bigger. Granted, the muscle is growing and it is getting bigger in a sense, but lose the fat. Because the moment you start losing that fat, you're not going to have a problem with the muscle that you just built. So that's another big myth buster is, women are like, oh, I'm starting to do heavy squats, but my legs are getting huge. That's true, but if you were to lose the fat that's on them legs, they're not going to be huge.
I agree. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I read somewhere online that you don't do a ton of cardio. How important is cardio when your diet is on target?
If your diet is on target, you really don't have to do a ton of cardio. Cardio has been a little overrated over the years. I mean, anyone that is, starting their New Year's resolution, the first thing you see is all these cardio people jumping on treadmills and they're just going and going and going. I want everyone to go to a gym and look at everyone that is on those treadmills or on those bikes. What do they look like? They're probably skinny if they're a big time runner, or they're definitely overweight. Now, if you were to look at all the people that are in the free weights or on the machines, what do you see? You see people with actual muscle definition and toning, and that's where people need to start focusing and kind of think outside the box is you need to start incorporating more weight training than cardio. And if your diet is on key and you're doing great, skip the cardio. I would rather see people lift weights and do resistance training than just do cardio. Now, there's a difference with people that are doing like the Tabata or CrossFit or any of those, which is you're kind of incorporating weights with cardio. And that's a little bit different. And that is going to be, you're going to burn a ton of calories, which is great, but you're also going to be building muscle mass. If you jump on a treadmill and that's all you do is cardio, you're not going to build muscle. And more than anything, you're going to become kind of one of those skinny fat people. And so to me, I would rather see people more involved with their muscle mass than fat mass per se. My biggest thing is I think people are under muscled. And so the more muscle that we can build for our genetic, makeup of whatever your, particular genetics are, then you're not going to have a problem losing fat. And so I still do cardio, but I probably only do about an hour of cardio a week, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here. And I have tons of clients that their physiques look amazing and they don't do crazy amounts of cardio. They're the ones that I have to actually like rewind on them and say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, we're going to do something different here. Let's start weight training and let's skip the cardio. And I've had some clients that don't do any cardio for months and all they do is resistance training and lifting weights, and their bodies will begin to transform more than they have ever in the last 5 years that they've been trying to work out.
And why do you think people prefer cardio above weight training?
I think it's kind of more of a brainwashing thing. I mean, that's just ever since we were younger. That's how people think of losing weight is just cardio, cardio, cardio. Go running, go jump on a treadmill, go do this. And this whole resistance training and lifting weights, it's still quite new to people in a sense when it comes to losing weight and trying to get the body that you've always wanted. And so it's trying to switch people's minds around about, instead of learning what you have been taught growing up, let's start switching things and do what's, scientifically what is being proven here. And that is, weight training and resistance training is starting to become much more popular than cardio, but I think people are still insistent on cardio, 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 because that's just how they, grew up. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to start running so that I can lose weight. And instead, I want people to start thinking, I need to start hitting the weights to lose weight. And that's how I would like to see it.
I totally agree.
Thanks. Me too.
What is the secret to a successful meal plan?
It really isn't no secret. It's just if someone wants to stick to the plan and to my meal plans, my biggest thing is prep your meals ahead of time. Always plan ahead. I think that's one of the hardest things for people to stay even on track themselves, let alone someone trying to guide them on the right path, is people don't plan ahead. We're always going and going and going. We are very, very busy people. And so we're very adamant about just grab and go, grab and go. But if you prep your food and have it all ready for you, it is so much easier to grab and go if you have things that have already been set aside for what you want to eat. Because it is very, very easy to just, grab a couple crackers and head out the door, or, grab a candy bar because that's the only thing that you can find at a convenience store because you've got to run and go. Me, I would rather pack my meals, prep your food ahead of time, and always plan ahead.
You're a mother of two. How do you balance being a mom and having a successful career?
It's not easy, let me tell you. And I can't imagine people with more than two kids, because I look at those parents and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how they do it. But kudos to them. Yeah, having two boys who, are in preschool and grade school, they both do sports. It's hard. It's hard to juggle your time. It's hard to set aside time for yourself to go to the gym, or, staying up late to prep your food for the day, the very next day. Because you're constantly thinking, okay, what do my kids need to eat tomorrow? Or, or what does my husband need to eat tomorrow? So trying to find that time for yourself is crucial. And you can definitely find the time. You just kind of have to figure it out and purposely make time for yourself. Because if you don't, if mom's not happy, nobody's happy. And I'm happy when I'm able to go to the gym and have quality time at the gym, not like I'm feeling rushed or nothing, and having time to prep my food every day so that I know I can stay on track. But it's not easy. And some days are harder than others. And yeah, there's days where I have to skip the gym because it just doesn't fit into my busy schedule. But that's where it's like, okay, I'm going to take 30 minutes of my time and do a workout at home, whether it's a workout video or even just doing some yoga and some stretching for 30 minutes. Every little bit helps. But if you're really determined and it's something that you really, really want to do and you really, really believe in, you'll find time for it. But it's going to be hard, but you can do it.
What has been your best life experience this far?
Meeting some really, really nice people. And I know that just sounds kind of cliche, but coming into the bodybuilding and fitness industry, you always think, oh, people are going to be so snobby and people are going to have big heads about themselves because they look amazing. And, that's just how most people, and, you feel a little intimidated by these people because they just look amazing. It still flabbergasts me that I can meet these people in this fitness and bodybuilding world, and they are the most sweetest people I have ever met. They would give the shirt off your back kind of people. It doesn't matter if you're, a big Mr. Olympia, or if you're a bikini competitor, or you're someone who's just starting into it. It's almost like finally you find some people that have the exact same mind frame as you and the same passion as you. And you instantly kind of bond with these people. And as I go to my gym and I start to meet more and more people that want to look like me, or people that want to do what I do, or want to know my secret, what is it that I do to look the way that I do, I think it still to this day blows their mind that I'm just Stephanie. I'm just a mom of two. I'm a happy little housewife, and this is my career. This is my job. And I wish more people would come talk to me because they say, "Oh, I'm so intimidated by you." And I'm like, "I'm 5'2". How can I be that intimidating?" But I understand because I was that way when I was first starting out. And, I would look at someone that I really looked up to and motivated. And I just want to let everyone know that if you're going to start into the real health and fitness type of stuff and really start honing in on gaining that proper muscle and losing that fat and looking like those people in magazines, don't be afraid to go up to those people because they are some of the nicest people you will ever meet and they are more than willing to help you 100%.
Where can people learn more about you online?
They can go to stephanie.fitness.com, and I'm also on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. And you can find me in Idaho Falls, Idaho. So if you ever see me walking around or at a gym, come say hi. But yeah, stephanie.fitness.com is my website, and that's where you can find, my online training and my meal plans, as well as recipes and fitness tips. And I do a lot of guest bloggers, so I have other bloggers or people that want to write up articles and give it. I like to have that extra opinion, so it's not just all about me. It's there's other great ideas out there or people with different mind frames, and so my website is very diverse and has lots of fun and different ideas and things to work with.
Okay, I will make sure to put the link down below this video.
Perfect, thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for being on the show. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I am so glad I was able to speak with you. It was fun. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much. My name is Miriam Khalladi, and I will see you on the next episode of Real Talk, Real Women.